Wow, I just helped that guy get unstuck. Like, you see the little dents in the ground? Like, you see where that little orange thing is? He couldn't really make it around, so his wheels was up in the air. So we couldn't figure out how to get his wheels moving because there wasn't no traction. So this could be a good trick, and I definitely have to take one with me. When your wheels don't have traction, there's a couple things you can do. You can either, like, it's different on every truck, and I did it in my storyline. You can either you can lock your rear drives by, find it out where it's at. No, I'm sorry, that's air suspension. Like I said, it's different on every truck. This is the inner axle one right here. So you lock your rear drives, that's what that does. And when I say rear drives, for people that need to see stuff, these are your drives. That's your front drives. So of course it's your front drives because it's the front. Of course these are your rear drives because obviously it's in the rear. So when you turn that inner axle lock on, what it does is it locks up these set of axles to where this is the main one that's spinning. So what happened with that guy was the front of his tire was it was maybe about 2-3 inches off the ground to where it was just spinning. So we tried to put some things under it, it still wouldn't catch. So what we had to end up doing was, yep, there you go. Get yourself some plywood, some 4x4, because you never know when your rear axles will lose traction and you just need something for your wheel to catch on. And that's something a lot of times need to be as big as some plywood or some 4x4. So he let me get in his truck and help him pull off. So because he had a stick shift, so I got in there and I said, hey man, just put the block underneath the front drive while I try to go forward. So while I was going forward in the third gear, he banging on it until that wheel finally jumped up on the block and it pulled him out and he got out. Because if it wasn't for that, he was going to have to call a wrecker and it just would have been embarrassment and everything else. So let's recap. If you get somewhere, because it can happen anywhere. It can happen if you get on uneven terrain. It can happen if you get in mud. It could just happen, mainly mud, snow, uneven terrain, sand, muddy dirt, like really like just soft dirt. It can happen. So if it happened to where you're just spinning, have some plywood in your storage, or try to turn on your interlock so that it can lock your rear, axles, and hopefully the front wheels can pull you out. But most of the time, you're gonna need some plywood for you to roll up on to pull you out. I definitely thought I shared that. I would have recorded the guy, but that would have been rude. A lot of times, when people get into crunches, the first thing people would do is pull out a phone and record somebody to make a fool of them. Well, why not get out and help? Like, instead of me pulling my phone out to have a video showing how he got stuck and how he, I guess, was feeling bad or looking stupid, I got out and helped. That's what a driver with integrity and the help mind of spirit would do, instead of trying to talk about somebody and make them feel further worse. Because every truck driver that had a moment to where they did something stupid and it's just a learning lesson. So instead of putting somebody down when they already going through something, get out and help the damn driver. You never know, that can be your dumb self to where you might need the help. Because I didn't need the help many a days that I done got in the crunches. So make sure you find some plywood somewhere. I got this plywood from this pile. You see that pile right there? Yep. And the same one we used to get him out, it's the same one I'm about to put in my compartment. So hey, carry some damn plywood with you or some 4x4, because you don't never know when you might need it. So time is the essence. I'm making better time of it, waiting for them to finish my load and everything. Oh, and also too, I mean, a lot of stuff I make is common sense, but just in case you forgot, I just remind you, I scraped my knee so freaking bad. I don't know if I'm bleeding. I was trying to help him. I ran into the metal thing. My damn knee hurt bad. But the same way you would grease your fifth wheel, like you check your fifth wheel from time to time to make sure like ain't no rust spots. But this part really don't matter because this is not making contact with the trailer and the shank. This whole top part is the one you worry about. You want to make sure there's no metal to metal or rust spots. So before I go and hook up to my trailer, I'm about to re-grease my fifth wheel. And a lot of times, to make it easier to pull in and out your electrical connectors, like this is your electrical connector right here. Like this has 7 prongs. Prongs are the holes that you see, 7-prong connector. And on people that don't have lift gates on the back of their trailer or they don't touch freight, you ain't got to worry about this because this is a 4-prong electrical connector. And on trailers that have lift gates, that one charges the lift gate. So people that just have an average reefer trailer, dry van trailer, or a trailer that don't have a lift gate, y'all ain't gonna have that line. Y'all just gonna have that electrical connector that just supply your brake lights and lights on the trailer. That's it. So like I said, the grease I normally use to lube up my fifth wheel and everything, let me see, it's on my other side, but you can get it from Walmart. It's called all-purpose grease. It's like red grease. You can even get it from truck stops. You can get them in little packs or you can get them in a tub, and it's red grease, and you can just grease around, or even like, you know, around the connector, so when you pull it in and out, you're not struggling trying to yank, because a lot of times when ain't no grease, that sucker barely wants to come out. So all right guys, time's the essence. I'm making bad time of it, helping people as usual. So all right y'all, deuces.